commonly get asked, should I get a membrane sweep to naturally induce labor? I don't recommend them, and here's why. Howdy, hey, I'm Krisha, your natural birth trainer. Click subscribe if you would like more knowledge on natural birth. Membrane sweeps, also known as stripping of the membranes, also known as membrane stretch and sweep, is commonly offered to expecting moms around 39 weeks after a cervical check. First of all, cervical checks are optional. If you consent to a cervical check, then you'll need to consent to a membrane sweep as well. There are some providers, if you consent to a cervical check, they may just give you a membrane sweep without your consent because they're already in there, and why not? This is what makes a cervical check painful at the end of pregnancy. This is a violation of your human rights. In order to receive a membrane sweep, your cervix has to be open for a provider to get a finger up there to reach the membranes. Let's back up a minute. Here are some anatomy basics. Inside the uterus, which is a muscle, there is a double sac with amniotic fluid that houses your baby. At the bottom of the amniotic sac, there are membranes that attach it to the top of the cervix. The cervix sits at the top of the vagina. The idea of a membrane sweep is to get a prostaglandin release, which is one of the birthing hormones, to stimulate the body to contract and help soften and ripen the cervix for labor. If your cervix is open, your provider will insert 1 or 2 fingers, depends on how open the cervix is, up through to the top of the cervix using firm pressure. Move the finger around in a circular motion or sweeping motion to break up the membranes. Some providers will try to stretch the cervix more open. This is considered a more natural way of trying to induce labor. 39 weeks is way too early for a membrane sweep for most expecting moms who are low risk and showing no signs of labor. A membrane sweep is an intervention to the birthing process and may not go as planned. Not to mention, it takes more than 1 sweep for it to be effective. It can be intense and painful for expecting moms, leaving your lady parts sore afterwards. The pressure of the baby down into the pelvis, and now someone is pressing up with force to get through the cervix to reach the membranes, plus the sweeping of the finger while inside can be very uncomfortable. There is a risk of your water breaking and your body isn't ready to have a baby. You could find yourself in an unnecessary medical induction going this route. You will have pinky tinge or bloody streak mucus and spotting after a sweep is done. Capillaries have busted from the procedure and will leave the body. Having a cervical check and membrane sweep does disturb the self-cleansing the vagina has been doing for baby to pass through a perfectly natural formulated microbiome. Crampiness will follow, and so will moodiness from the prostaglandin release. Some will lose their mucus plug. You may or may not have contractions. Some will spontaneously go into labor following a membrane sweep. Some may prodromal labor, meaning having on and off contractions for days, and some, nothing will happen, remain pregnant and anxious. It will be a hit or miss if a membrane sweep will work for you. In my opinion, don't consent to one unless desperate means calls for desperate measures. I only recommend them to my private birthing athletes if they are 42 weeks and running up against a state law to have a baby. It is a last resort measure. Membrane sweep is an option. You definitely want to weigh the risks and benefits based on your scenario. Overall, for this natural birth options, risks outweigh the benefits, but it's your body, your birth, your decision. Knowledge is power. Please share this video with expecting moms you know. Help me get the word out. Check out my video on 10 things you need to know about natural birth. Click on the link in the description to watch it now. Healthy mommy, healthy baby, labor on.